Shalom, I'm Rabbi Michael Panitz. I'm the Rabbi of Temple Israel of Norfolk, Virginia, speaking to you from the pulpit of our synagogue. At this time, I'd like to discuss the subject of migrating birds, the canaries in our coal mines. According to the Bible, there was a time when the future of humanity rested on information conveyed by a bird. The dove returning to Noah with an olive leaf in its beak was the herald that a habitable world was again at hand. Noah, in the famous story from Genesis, which we read this coming Sabbath, is credited with saving all the terrestrial and avian animals. But his story focuses on birds. Let's honor that focus and think about the birds in our lives. That story has an echo today. Information from the birds that pass through our region is evidence about the health of the planet. And we ought to pay attention because the news is bad. We in Hampton Roads, Virginia, are situated along the Atlantic Flyway. That allows us to see the sky filled with birds at selected times of the year. The birds are in trouble. Their numbers have decreased dramatically, perhaps 30% over the past half-century. This decline tells us that the entire system of resources upon which life depends is ailing. In addition to the general advice that is so hard for selfish and short-sighted humans to internalize, advice about controlling our development and sparing vital habitat, we can take specific steps, easy steps, to protect the birds that pass through our region. The Cornell Lab of Ornithology advises, because birds can be disoriented by city lights and fly into skyscrapers or homes, we should keep those building lights off at night when birds like to fly. We should also keep our lovable little kitty cats indoors at night. They are all too efficient hunters, evolved to take their prey, including birds, at night. This coming Sunday, November 3rd, at 10 a.m., Temple Israel will have its annual Blessing of the Animals. You are invited to come with your pet, with a photograph of your pet, or simply because you honor the fact that we and the animals of this world are all in it together. Our speaker this year is Lisa Barlow. Professionally, she is a licensed veterinary technician and has worked with wildlife for over 3 decades. She is the founder and president of TREE, T-R-E-E, Tidewater Rehabilitation and Environmental Education. Although she has worked with over 100 species of animal patients, nearly 1,200 patients in 2023 alone. In 2024, recognizing that there are other organizations specializing in caring for mammals and reptiles, TREE realigned its mission to focus on birds and waterfowl that grace our region. This aligns with 2 cherished personal memories. First, I've been in Israel at times of annual bird migration. Israel, alone in the Middle East, protects its migratory birds and prohibits hunting them. I recall the thrill of seeing a hoopoe bird, in Hebrew it's called duchifat, while visiting Kibbutz Degania some dozen years ago. Words from Psalms came naturally to my lips. Ma gadlu ma'asecha Adonai ma'od amku machshevotecha. How great are your deeds, O God. Your thoughts are very deep. Second, personal memory. A few years later, I was in the Israeli city of Hod HaSharon, visiting the family of my younger son's fiancée. This was a couple of months before Ben and Ilana were married. I was walking through town during the afternoon rush hour with Yitav Chavusha, my daughter-in-law's cousin, a very spiritual young man, by the way. We were at a busy traffic circle, and we noticed on the roadbed of the roundabout an injured bird. Yitav stopped traffic. No small feat if you know Israeli drivers, and used a towel in his knapsack to cradle the bird. We took the bird to the nearest veterinary office. It was after hours, but Yitav would not allow any technicalities to prevent the sacred task of caring for the wounded creature. That is the same spirit as animates our guest speaker and the volunteers who work for TREE. They can be found patrolling downtown Norfolk, looking for injured birds that had collided with our downtown skyscrapers. They save all whom they can. Let's close the circle and conclude where we began. At our upcoming blessing of the animals, please keep this in mind. The dove returned to Noah with good news for the human future. It is time for us to return the favor and do what we can for the avian future. And as it turns out, the health of the birds, the health of the animals, the health of the plants, the health of the soil, the health of the groundwater, the health of the oceans, are all part of the web that sustains us as well.